Yeah, whatever. I got my cousin here, Aaron, who is from the Off-Road podcast.
That's right.
iTunes, Stitchers, SoundCloud, all that good stuff. Links for that podcast down there in the description. And he has got what for the last couple months I have been calling the his Unimog. Like kind of like one of the ultimate off-road rigs I've ever seen. Old Army truck. Tell us exactly what it is.
So it's not a Unimog to all
bummer.
of our fans out there. It is a Stewart and Stevenson's cargo truck, and that makes it sound even lamer. It's a cargo truck, but clearly it's still awesome. It's 1998 Stewart and Stevenson. It is a M1078 is the designation.
Wow.
So.
All right, so we're gonna do a walk around here.
Yeah.
Talk about the features, get all the way around, look inside, and then for our grand finale, he'll you know, put the cab up, and we'll see what's under the hood there. Actually, what's under the cab.
Yeah. The cab is the hood. Well, first thing to note up here is 3 wipers. How awesome is 3 wipers?
That's pretty awesome.
I do wish though that the designers would have designed them a little better, because this one in front of the driver's side stops here. You're a little short of a full sweep. That's a little annoying.
They need a little mini one up there or something like that.
Yeah, maybe I need a 4th wiper or one from the top. We'll see. But yeah, 3 wipers, pretty awesome. That makes it 50% more expensive when you have to put new wiper blades on, let me tell you. You break the bank. Some notable features on the front end here is these the air brake ports, and over here in this corner an electrical inlet. These are for not if, but when this truck breaks down in the Army and they have to tow it. It has air brakes on it, and so connecting the tow vehicle to these ports here will allow you to actuate the brakes in this as if it was a trailer instead of a truck now.
Yep, just like an over-the-road trailer.
Yep, and then obviously you connect here so you can control all the lights on the rig.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. It connects at these 2 points here. In fact, I recently was connected to a 3-point tow setup, but I wasn't broken down. I was helping push a truck in the snow. It was a lot of fun. Another notable feature up here, this dongle right here, that is the front of the winch cable. When we walk around, we'll show you the rest of the winch. It's currently hanging out the front. The awesome part of this winch is that it'll also pull from the rear.
Wow, okay.
Pulling from the rear is pretty special. Down here,
I'm sure you're going to get some jokes about that in the comment section.
Good.
Let's keep it PG for the PG kid.
absolutely. Down here is a broken light.
Ah, okay. Nice feature.
Currently doesn't work.
Okay.
I have a feeling, I haven't looked into it, but I think that's where like an infrared light would go.
Ah.
And I recently bought an infrared spotlight for $5.
There we go.
So we'll get that all hooked up. The spotlight I bought is 24 volt. We'll have to figure out how to wire it in, because this truck is both 12 and 24 volts. The alternator puts out both voltages.
Okay. Well, I got to ask about this right here.
This right here?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah. Good.
So will not run. This truck was bought from a auction from
It says
South Carolina.
Yeah, it says it in quotations there. They're being kind of iffy with the word run.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not sure.
well, it might run, but it's not gonna, run. Okay.
Or maybe they don't really know when you're supposed to use quotes.
Ah, that could be.
I have that feeling.
Perhaps they were a part of the Portland public school system. little inside joke.
We reflect that remark. So yeah, I bought this truck. Actually, I didn't buy the truck. My friend bought it for me. Had it shipped from the East Coast to the West Coast, and put a bunch of time and effort into it to get it to run.
Yeah, run.
And now it runs.
Yeah.
And boy, does it run. It runs great. Here's my my number up here. Number 21. That's a lucky number. It's the day my birthday's on, so it's got to be a lucky number. It was the day I was born. That's a good thing. Working our way around the side here. You've got the side steps. They have to be malleable. You don't want to bend or crush something that's in the front when you've got off-road things happening, or when you tilt the cab. When you tilt the cab, this works its way up and touches on the tire.
Right, I gotcha.
Speaking of tires, these bad boys, they look super expensive. That was one of my big fears of buying this truck, was spending lots of money on a tire. $200 a piece.
$200 each
for a piece of rubber.
for the tire itself.
Yep, for the tire. Actually, that
doesn't
tire
seem
with the wheel. Actually,
with the wheel. Wow.
With the wheel.
Yeah, that doesn't seem bad at all.
Military surplus. You can get some really good deals. You can get some bad deals. You can get some tires that are all rotted out and not realize it. So you got to be careful. That was a good buddy deal. Yeah. So these tires are 46.8 inches tall and approximately 16 inches wide.
And you got a central
tire
inflation
system. Yeah, CTIS. So it comes through the axle and works its way into the wheel. And there's some controls in the cab. Maybe we'll get to that in a little bit if I'm not too long-winded.
No, that's good. So that's on all 4 tires, and they all have the
all 4. Yep. And if this was a 6x6, it would be on all 6,
there
or
you go.
all 8, or all 10, depending on the vehicle.
Okay.
So up here we've got the air intake. It's up high. That way I can go in some deep water. Although the manual says not to go in any water any deeper than 30 inches, I believe. That's probably 30 inches. That's not very deep water. Unless you take some precautions. There's a switch on the dash for shutting off the fan. You want to make sure that your axle breather tubes have been extended with the extension kit that not all of them come with. Also over here we've got these giant hooks.
We get right in here on this.
A little dirty because I went wheeling with it last week and had a great time out in Tahuya. But it says lift. So you pop a couple pins and these slide out about 16 inches, 18 inches. And it's a lift point. There's another one back here and 2 more on the other side. And it allows you to sling this thing with a wrecker or a helicopter.
Yeah, okay. I was going to ask a helicopter. That seems like that would make sense.
Yeah.
How much does this thing weigh overall?
So empty, this thing weighs 17,700 pounds.
Yeah, wow.
I took it camping recently, and on the way home after I burned all my firewood with my tent and some camping gear on the bed and 1 spare tire, it was 19,000 pounds even. Okay.
So to give you guys some perspective, every day I drive a 2013 Freightliner M2 with a 26-foot box on it. And that's just a 26,000 GVW truck, but the dry weight of that truck is 15,400. So that truck's bigger than this overall by quite a bit, but doesn't still is 1,500 pounds less, 2,000 pounds less.
That's part of the robustness.
The robustness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we're related to those people. Of this vehicle, this is part of a family of vehicles, and this is the 2.5 ton. There's a 6x6 version, which is the 5 ton, and they use the same chassis, same drive line, same engine for the most part.
So here's a question I don't know the answer to, which I like to ask those questions. Is this like the modern iteration of like a deuce and a half?
Yes, these replace the deuces.
Ah, okay.
To all of the fanboys of deuces, you guys hate me. You guys hate this rig. This is a terrible rig. And for all of the LMTV owners, the deuces are terrible. We love these things way better than the deuces.
Yeah. LMTV, what is that?
Light something tactical vehicle. I really don't know. That's terrible of me.
I know you keep referring to it to an as an LMTV, and I'm trying to adapt my nomenclature, but
well, we'll have to find it out and put it in the show notes.
Yeah, I have to keep asking. I have to keep calling it a Unimog because that's kind of what it looks like. What are the tanks?
So those are the air tanks. It has an air brake system. It uses a wedge style air can, which basically has 2 shoes. And one pushes up, one pushes down, and there's a wedge at each end, and the wedge forces the shoes out, which comes in contact with the brakes.
Okay. And I see
those tanks are what provide the air for the system.
Okay. And I see the leaf springs under there. What's the max payload on this bad boy?
Well, 2.5 tons.
2.5. Okay, 5,000 pounds max payload.
Correct. I've heard of people putting a lot more weight on them.
Right.
I'm sure it can handle a lot more weight since it's basically the same chassis as the 5 ton minus an axle.
Sure.
This has got a 12.5 foot bed. The 6x6 5 ton version has a 14.5 foot bed. So it's only 2 feet shorter of bed.
What is this?
That's some storage. I'll show you the storage on the when we walk around the other side.
Okay.
Here's the other the other lift point here, tucked neatly in the bed.
So they can just lift these things out of action with a helicopter.
Correct.
Well, it seems to me like the next step really is probably to get a helicopter.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure if my wife's going to approve that one. I had tough squeaking this one by, but I mean, you got to try.
I think there's a saying in there about asking forgiveness and asking permission.
Yeah, it's always easier to ask for forgiveness
Yeah.
than permission. That's for sure. So back here, we've got the ladder.
Oh wow, that's deluxe.
Yeah, sweet.
Look at that.
Pop it right in. Climb on up. Do your thing.
Kind of a sissy ladder.
Get your troops in and out.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see back here.
Is that 97 Camry over there?
That's a beaut,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Over here you can see the fair lead.
Roller fair lead there for the winch system. That's what he's talking about, being able to pull the thing from the forward or from the back.
Yep.
From the front or from the back.
A couple more recovery points here.
Yeah.
And then good old pintle hitch.
Yep. Yep.
Towing.
All day.
All day, yep. Working our way. There's not much exciting going on back here.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
Well, it's very utilitarian.
Definitely.
Everything has a purpose on this rig. I like that.
Just about.
Yep.
They really did think some stuff out really well, and then other times you just wonder what they were thinking.
Well, it's like I say, it's not a fashion show, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's a little hook right here. You may wonder, why is there a hook? Well, pop your mud flaps up.
Oh wow, look at that.
Have you ever run over a mud flap, Matthew? Backing up over a curb?
You know what? I have.
Yeah, did it tear it off?
It gave it a good once over.
There you go.
Yep, that'll solve that issue for you.
Exactly. So we've reached the winch. Do you know the appropriate spelling of winch for our viewers?
I believe it's. Is it W-I? No, it's W-E.
No, it's
W-I-N-C-H.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a barmaid.
Yeah, this is an
a recovery tool.
old Britain here.
So this winch mounted to the frame rails will allow you to pull forward, or if you take it loose and spool it back through.
Now you said
in reverse.
you'd gone through some salt water with this. Would that make that a salty winch? Yeah.
It could.
Amazon links in the description, folks.
For salty winches?
Well, no, just, in general.
In general, okay.
Figured that was a good time to put that commercial in there.
There you go. So you were asking what that panel was over there.
Storage.
That is the panel storage.
Yeah. Wow, look at that.
So up in here, we've got the side panels that create the stake sides of the rig.
Oh, okay. So it carries its own stake sides with it.
Well, you know what? There's part of that is true and part of it isn't. Those are only the panels, and they fold down like tailgates. They're pretty slick. So there's
Okay.
4 of them, and then a 5th one on the back like a tailgate.
Okay.
You can't fit, or I haven't figured out how to fit all 5 of them in here. I can only fit 4 of them in.
Interesting.
And then there's all the framework for all of it that stays in place as well. So I'm not entirely sure why you would store your panels and keep the framework up. Doesn't entirely make sense. Maybe I should read the manual, figure that out.
Huh. Yeah, or could just keep guessing at it.
I like to guess.
Yeah.
I do like to guess. Got our 58-gallon fuel tank. That one really hurts the checkbook.
And this
Filling
is
up
this
58
is
gallons.
This is diesel then.
It says use diesel fuel only. It did say somewhere else JP8. JP8 is the military fuel that they put in all things, although that says use diesel fuel only there as well. I'm not sure where I saw JP8. I think that maybe it was just a mark. Oh, hey, here it is.
She rides pretty good, Aaron.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty quiet in here. Something I was talking about with the old deuce and a half drivers, 5-ton guys. It's a lot louder inside of their rigs.
Yeah.
We're able to carry on the conversation. It's not currently raining outside, but if it was raining outside, it wouldn't be raining inside. Something that I hear also happens with the deuces. Pretty pleasant.
Yeah, air ride?
Air ride cab, not air ride seats. The seats, you might as well be sitting on a concrete block with a ½ inch of foam.
Sure.
But that could be remedied to the trip to the wrecking yard and some, I don't know, some seats out of something.
Yeah. Hey, I like it.
Yeah. Good rig.
Good. I just started filming here right as we come to a stop. That's kind of appropriate.
Yeah, it's a little bit boring right now.
Let me pause it. Now we're off. What's our 0 to 60 time here?
You know, because 60 is the top speed and you have to be going downhill to achieve it, I haven't tried to do a 0 to 60. I'm going to guess it's probably somewhere in the 45-second range. The first gear that it takes off in, which, like I mentioned earlier, is second gear, it doesn't have much get up and go, but as soon as it hits third gear, it feels like it pulls. It's got some good torque in that gear.
This thing is a tighter turning radius than my truck, I'll tell you that right now.
As I just cross over the double yellow line to filming, but it does turn really sharp. I'm really happy with it. It's turned sharper than like a Ford F-250.
Wow. All right. And we're back. JP8.
JP8, so that's the military's fuel that they use in all of their things. There's the winch rating.
There's the winch rating.
It'll pull 11,000 pounds on the first layer of cable.
Okay.
The more cable you get out, the lower you get, the tighter you get to the drum, the more you can pull.
Ah, okay. So at a bare minimum, it'll pull
11,000 pounds, which is not enough for a 17,700 pound rig.
Huh.
Let me tell you. When you get it stuck, it gets stuck.
Well, you can always use a...
snatch block.
You're right, exactly.
Well, that's in our next video.
Okay.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah. So if you lasted this far into the video, we're going to have a couple videos after this one. I think I'll do this kickoff. This tour is the kickoff, but over the next couple weeks, we'll roll out tools related to off-road, a couple videos about that. So stay tuned.
So, and here's a control box for the air over hydraulic system. We've got the spare tire if we want to drop it down. The suspension we can raise. So the spare tire is on like you see a framework here, and the whole thing drops down. Yep. And then the cab tilt. The cab would be so you can have access to maintenance under the hood. How much does one of the tires and wheels weigh? I'm told 500 pounds. Okay. I haven't weighed it. I have a feeling it's less than 500 pounds because I can do the whole CrossFit thing and pick it up pretty easy. Oh, wow. But it's not 200 pounds, that's for sure. Yeah, okay. It's definitely heavy. Stout. So, yeah, you use these controls to choose what you're doing. You select if you're raising or lowering. And then you go to town with pushing your button here. Suspension. Cab tilt. We're going to get into that in a minute. We're going to show what's under the cab. So the suspension raise and lower. You use these fancy brackets here mounted to the frame, and you attach it to the axle. And when you use that function, it hydraulically sucks the cab down to the axle to lower the overall height. I believe it's 8 inches. Don't quote me on that. Okay. And the purpose of that is so it'll tuck down and be lower to fit inside of a cargo plane when you're getting ready to roll deep. So I haven't found a cargo plane yet. Still looking in the helicopter. We're going to build ourselves an army. Well, if we get more subscribers to the podcast, that's going to open up possibilities. That will open up possibilities. Advertising revenue, that's it. Business. For some reason, if your system is out of air, because this air controls the hydraulics for all these parts, if that all fails, you can go to your backup hydraulic pump here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Now, is that Harbor Freight? It is not Harbor Freight. Okay, well. It might be worse than Harbor Freight because the government goes to the lowest bidder. Wow, okay. Some other nice storage places on this. Right next to this control is a box. And the box doesn't look very big from the outside, but it tucks back there almost 24 inches. Okay. And I was able to fit, I really don't want to open this to show the viewers, but I was able to fit all 4 of my tire chains for these monster tires. Wow. Inside of there. Okay. And so that's why you've got a lock on that, because if you lose those, that's going to be expensive to replace. That would be expensive. Okay. Some more storage up in here. You got to keep your metal pipe in here. Yeah. Keeping people in line when you're off-roading. That's where you'd store the bows if you had the covered wagon system. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So you've got that. There's some more storage in the don't mind the 2x4 there.
Oh, careful.
More storage down in here.
Okay.
The other side has the windshield washer squirter reservoir. So I didn't pop that open. And we work our way into the cab.
Oh.
This is my special 2x4.
Yeah, that's custom.
3 points of contact, safety first.
Yeah, there you go. Now, are you roped off on that or no?
I'm not roped off. I am above 4 feet above the ground, but I think I'm going to be fine up here.
Okay.
Behind the seat, we've got the...
Let's look at this for just a second. Give people a shot of that. That covers basically the information in more detail that we covered earlier.
There's our data plate. Look at that. 17,770 pounds.
Yeah.
I was incorrect with the viewers. I was off by 70 pounds.
So if they want to pause it and look at that, there's a nice still shot for you, hopefully. All right.
This is, hey, real quick, this is the amazing part right here. The turning radius, 35 feet wall to wall. So if you had two walls 35 feet apart, I could turn this around, a U-turn between them. Such sharp turning in
well,
this.
with these cab over style with that zero clearance, you know.
Cab over and really tight angles that you can crank these tires is pretty amazing. And then if you can't quite make the turn, you just continue driving over whatever the obstacle
There you
is.
go. There you go. I like that part.
Absolutely. So inside, behind each seat, is a giant driver and co-driver box.
Okay, let's get up.
I've got some tools up in there.
Here, I'll just hand you the camera.
Got some tools, extra ratchet straps, some Harbor Freight specials, 3-pound drilling hammer, winch, some extra water, you know, the essentials. I've also got this hanging bag. Back it up a little. This is great for throwing your jackets and stuff in, since I don't have any chemical warfare gear to put on. You may notice that these seats here are not color matched to the rest of the Army Gray. These are 2012 Ford F-150 center seats from a center bench, and I bought 2 of them.
Wow.
And I have 2 children, and this allows me to let my kids ride with me.
So really, this is kind of like a family rig.
It is absolutely a family vehicle.
Yeah. I think the expense is justified in that right there.
It is.
Mean, come on, what are we talking about?
Name another Army truck other than a Hummer that you can fit 4 people in.
Yeah.
These seats are pretty amazing. They cost me $100 each. They've got amazing amounts of storage, cup holders, integrated seat belts, more storage back here. Uh-oh. There is more storage back here.
Okay.
So, all kinds of stuff. Not too bad.
Now looking up here.
You're looking at the turret, aren't you?
Right.
The turret cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. They put, obviously, a machine gun up there, and what I understand is that it weighs approximately 2,300 pounds, I think is what I heard.
Good
It's
night.
quite a bit of weight, so that's why we've got lots of extra reinforcements there. And if you pan to the windshield, there's a bar here to brace the front as well.
Okay.
Another feature that my truck has that not many of these do is this panel right here. The winch trucks came with this panel so you could watch your tack, and it has the 3 switches for the winch.
Okay.
Turn the PTO on, turn the winch on, winch in and out.
Yeah.
The truck doesn't have any fuses in it. It runs all off of relays, and
Wow.
all the relays and circuit breakers.
Keith, if you watch it, this part's for you, buddy.
If you don't have keys, you can pull one of these relays out and jump start it.
Which is the way you were doing it here up until...
I've had to do that before.
Yeah, okay.
I temporarily ran myself a 12-volt outlet so I could charge my phone, so I could listen to Buck's YouTube while I drive.
Yeah, there you go. If you lasted this part into the video, you deserve to know that my nickname is Buck.
Uh-oh, did I just spoil that?
Oh, that's all right. You got to put, you know, hey, by the way, Amazon links in the description. You got to give people a little Easter egg in here. So no, nobody knew that, but that's fine.
That's a long ways in.
Yeah.
You want to walk around?
Yeah, if they get this,
side?
I'll walk around the other side and you can show me the.
One thing I am a little ashamed of.
Don't be ashamed.
I know. Maybe the military should be ashamed, is the horn. I'm going to honk it for the listeners here. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Oh boy. Yeah. Sounds like about a 68 VW Bug.
Yeah, I'm not sure. People might want my man card turned in after hearing that.
Oh, this thing is actually quite spacious. I might be able to fit in that.
Absolutely, you could. So
you got
got
tilt.
Tilt steering. Watch all the degrees of tilt here. I might need to do slow motion.
Oh, they really got the ergos down pat on this puppy.
Big deal. Regular commercial switchgear here for turn signals and windshield wipers and everything. The only thing to note is the horn is this button here. No horn there.
Yeah. Got to get up on the dash for that.
Yeah, we've got some basic switches, or sorry, I guess they are basic switches, but real basic gauges. Not much to see there. This is how you turn the headlights and marker lights on. Real easy to start driving down the road and forget that you didn't turn your lights on and you have no brake lights. The good news is when people run into you, it's not going to hurt you that bad.
Yeah.
This is how you turn all the power on in the cab. I've added this keyed switch so that people can't start without my key. Little shout out to Gambler 500, baby. Always be gambling. And then down here, this is the ignition button. Doesn't work without me turning this key.
There you go.
Don't take my keys.
High tech.
Yeah.
What about this information here? Can I show that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that sensitive stuff?
Not very sensitive. This is the government planet listing. If you look up that number, you'll find out how much I paid for this truck.
That's your government name right there. They're using your government name.
Just above that is the transmission.
Yeah, push button.
You've seen those before, probably.
Yeah, Allison 3000 series has that.
So, pretty sure you guys all know what those do. This will let you shift manually. This last one you press and hold, and it locks it into four-wheel drive. It's regularly all-wheel drive, and that puts it into four-wheel drive. And I believe that when you put it into first gear, it always starts in second, from what I understand. Second to seventh, which is 6 speeds. But there's a first gear.
That's the old granny gear then.
Yeah, granny gear. It locks you in. It gives you some extra grunt down in the bottom end if you're really stuck.
Okay.
One last thing to see in here. We mentioned it. I'm going to have to take the camera one last time. That's the CTIS, Central Tire Inflation System. So what we've got here is the button for highway, XC, cross country, sand, emergency, and run flat. And then you press the button and it'll either air up or air down depending on where you currently are. Mine isn't working that well right now. I've got a leak. It'll air up, it won't air down. So if I want to be aired down, I have to manually air down, and then I take the brains away from the operation, and it won't air me back up. Interstate. That's about it. Sun visors, they don't pull to the side. You gotta wear sunglasses.
You're really roughing it.
The heater will melt you out of the cab.
Wow, okay.
The heater is absolutely amazing. I didn't use 3 points of contact there.
Well, OSHA violations left and right here today.
Good thing I'm a civilian.
Yeah. You want to do the undo the cab?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's tilt the cab. That door is going to pop open on us.
Okay.
So we're going to go to cab tilt.
Okay.
And we are going to raise the cab.
Raise. And then you hit.
So right there it was unlocking a pin.
Okay.
Unlocks the pin that holds it in place.
Wow, look at that.
Do you mind going over to the other side and opening the door all the way so it doesn't slap?
Doesn't slap. Can I open the door? Is it working?
It's not latched.
Okay. I asked him that because the...
Just let it rest.
Yeah. So that whole process takes what, about a minute or so?
Yeah, that maybe took a minute.
All right.
So under the cab, under the hood here, we've got a Caterpillar motor. It's a C7. The motor designation is a 3116. In the later years, they changed to, I think it's a 3126. Don't quote me on that once again. My motor is all mechanically injected. It's got a whole lot of mechanical stuff as opposed to electrical stuff.
Okay.
Makes it less chance to break down.
Right.
You can also put things through mechanically injected motors that you shouldn't put through electronically injected motors.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah. It's, we mentioned the transmission earlier. It's an Allison transmission.
Allison transmission.
A lot of the basic checkpoints here. We've got the transmission dipstick, the transmission fill, the engine fill. The engine oil is all the way tucked up under here, which you can get to with the cab down. You just have to open a rubber flap, but it's tight and grimy in there.
Gotcha.
Interesting thing to note, the military uses 1040 motor oil for both their engine and their transmission.
Yeah.
So it makes it shift a little hard when it's cold.
Uh-huh.
But you can't screw it up and put the wrong thing in the wrong tube.
Yeah.
And it makes one less type of fluid that the military has to worry about using.
It all makes sense.
Yep. You can see the hydraulic ram that sucks the suspension down right here a little better.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Not much going on under the hood, just the whole thing.
How much horsepower and torque, do you know what those are?
I can't remember the torque numbers, but the horsepower is 225.
Okay.
Yeah.
That beats my 2013 Freightliner M2 that's got a 6.7 Cummins. Mine's 220 horsepower.
Oh, there you go, 5.
Yeah,
one upped you.
Gutless wonder.
Finally got one up on you.
Yeah.
The 6x6 version has as I understand, is the exact same motor, everything. The turbo is slightly larger, and they turn the fuel screw up because it's mechanically injected.
Okay.
And it creates 290 horsepower.
Right on.
Yeah.
Can you think of anything else?
Top speed, going downhill, pedal to the metal. I hit 60 the other day.
Wow. Yeah.
I normally cruise at 53. You can change the gears out with these, and I've got a friend who's done that with his. He's got the same truck as mine. And he swapped the gears out, and he sent me a GPS picture proving that he was doing 75 miles an hour in his.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
I don't know what the speed rating on these tires are, but it's probably not 75 miles an hour.
Okay.
But yeah, lots of fun. I've had a lot of great times with it.
Ballpark. How much would somebody pay for a rig like this? Ballpark.
Well, like I mentioned, you could go to that GovPlanet thing to find out what I paid for this. And then I had to pay shipping to get it here, and then I had to pay my mechanic friend to get it fixed up.
Yeah.
But you can get these things for as cheap as $2,000, or you could spend $30,000 for someone who's gone through and retrofitted the motor and painted the frame and painted the cab for $30,000. Or you could spend $140,000 if you want to get one that's tricked out inside with air conditioning and they've built a living habitat on the back of it. So there's people taking these on expedition trips.
Yeah, it's the ultimate bug out.
Oh, also 7 miles to the gallon.
7 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Fuel. Well, you know, it's actually not that bad, all things considered.
You get a couple more when you do the gear change, the high-speed gears from an MRAP. That's where you get the gears from.
Yeah. Well, let's plug your social media so they can see more action pictures and things of this in action. What's all your social media stuff for you and for the podcast?
Yeah, so
anything you want to mention.
Okay, so we're on Facebook as the Off-Road Podcast. We're not the Off-Road Podcast. We are just Off-Road Podcast.
Yeah, it's three separate words. Off-Road Podcast.
There you go. We're also on the